What's up, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Denver Koki representing Gange Gange za Sporti kama kawaida, representing all the football and bringing you all the football updates from the Premier League and Europe at large. I hope you guys have been okay. We've been having a very long break. The long international break has finally come to an end, and we are back with more football updates. We are back with more football topics and all that in the Premier League and in Europe at large. So this is how it's going to go down. Now, Arsenal will be hosting Tottenham Hotspurs at the Emirates Stadium. That is at 2:30 p.m. early kickoff. Very good match, North London derby. And then much later at 5 p.m. Liverpool will be entertaining Brighton at Anfield Stadium. At 5 p.m. again in Craven Cottage, Fulham will be hosting Newcastle United. And then down south, or the south coast, at St. Mary's Park, Southampton will be hosting Everton, a high-flying Everton, by the way. They are currently on a decent run. And then Chelsea will officially kick off a new tenure under Graham Potter in the Premier League, as they will be traveling away to Crystal Palace in another London derby. And then another game on Saturday at 5 p.m. is Bournemouth hosting Brentford. Bournemouth are also under new management after the sacking of Scott Parker. And then closing in on Saturday, it will be West Ham, who are currently languishing on 18th, will be hosting Wolves in London. And then they'll be trying to look at what really has been going wrong for them. So let's see how that will go. And then Super Sunday, Manchester United will be away at Manchester City in a Manchester derby. Whoa! Manchester City will be hosting United at Etihad Stadium on Sunday at 4 p.m. And then to close that Super Sunday, Leeds United will be hosting Aston Villa at Elland Road at 6:30 p.m. And then to close the game week 9 on Monday at 10 p.m, Leicester City, who have been very terrible this season, languishing on 20th and still winless, will be hosting Nottingham Forest, a disjointed Nottingham Forest who signed 22 players in the just concluded transfer window. Let's see how that goes. They'll be hosted by Leicester City at King Power Stadium on Monday at 10 p.m. Fortunately or unfortunately, Brendan Rodgers has still kept his job. I don't know what is really going on behind the scenes, but I feel both parties have a part to play in the current dismal performance of that club. And then I'm looking at the standings so far. Arsenal is still leading the pack. They have 18 points after 7 games. Manchester City 17 points after 7 games. Tottenham Hotspur 17 points after 7 games. And then Brighton is 4th on 13 points after 6 games. Manchester United is 5th, 12 points after 6 games. And Fulham is closing in the current top 6 on 7 games and 11 points. Now, down south on the relegation side, Leicester are currently on a 5-game losing streak. They have 1 point after 7 games. They are 20th. Nottingham Forest have lost 4 games and drawn 1 in the last 5. They are 19th on 4 points after 7 games. And West Ham is 18th on 4 points after 7 games, having won 1, drawn 1, and lost 3 in the last 5 games. Now, statistically, I'm looking at the goals scored so far. Manchester City has really dominated this Premier League so far. Erling Haaland is 5 goals clear over the next opponents, Harry Kane and Alexander Mitrovic, who are having 6 goals each. Erling Haaland has 11. And then Ivan Toney has 5. He's been having a very good season. Also, and his first England call-up. He's the first ever player playing for Brentford to get a call-up to the England national team since 1935. How many years ago? Whoa. Kudos to Ivan Toney, terrific player. I'd love to see him on the World Cup, and congratulations to him. Assist, Kevin De Bruyne is leading the pack, 6. Bukayo Saka, 4. Roberto Firmino is tying on 3rd alongside Gabriel Jesus, Jack Harrison, Dejan Kulusevski, Bernardo Silva, Ivan Perisic, Kenny Tete, and Granit Xhaka. They all have 3 And then complete passes, Rodri is leading the pack. Number 1 to 4 is Manchester City. God, Rodri, Ruben Diaz, Joao Cancelo, Kyle Walker, 4. And number 5 is Johnny Evans from Leicester City. At least one decent thing about Leicester City is that Johnny Evans is in the top 5 list of the most complete passes so far, despite his team having a very terrible season. And then on the clean sheets, Ederson Moraes is first on 4. Jose Za is tied on second alongside Nick Pope from Newcastle, Aaron Ramsdale from Arsenal, Robert Sanchez, Brighton. They have 3 clean sheets each. And then on 2 clean sheets is Alisson and David De Gea and Hugo Lloris. Yes, I'm looking at the goals scored so far. Manchester City have scored 23. They are leading the pack. And then Spurs is second on 18. Arsenal is third on 17. And then tied at 4th is Brentford and Liverpool, each at 15-15. And then I'm looking at the passes. Leicester City is second to Manchester City. And Liverpool is third on passes completed. Arsenal is closing in on 4th. With the most completed passes. And then just to look at the yellow cards, the negative records. João Palhinha is a very terrific DM. Is leading the pack on 5 yellow cards already, and tied on second is a couple of players: Adam Smith, Anthony Gordon from Everton, Gabriel Jesus, Arsenal, Kenny Tete, Fulham, Ruben Neves, Wolves, Scott McTominay, Manchester United. They all have 4 yellow cards. And then red cards. Chelsea is leading on that. They have 2 players sent off already. Conor Gallagher, 1 red card. Darwin Núñez, 1 red card. Kalidou Koulibaly, 1 red card. And Nathan Collins, 1 red card as well. That makes Chelsea the club with the most red cards so far on 2. Because they have Conor Gallagher and Kalidou Koulibaly sent off already. Now, I'm looking at the Manchester Derby, and there's a very funny stat here. And it goes by saying, no new manager has won their first Manchester Derby in the Premier League since Sir Alex Ferguson in 1987. That is 35 years ago. Whoa. Moyes lost his first Manchester Derby by 4-1. Louis van Gaal lost his first Manchester Derby in the Premier League by 1-0. Jose Mourinho lost his first Manchester Derby by 2-1. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer lost his first Manchester Derby 2-0. And Ralf Rangnick lost his first Manchester Derby 4-1. So Erik Ten Hag will be looking to break that record that has spanned to over 35 years ago. And then there has also been 454 goals scored in 164 league meetings between Manchester United and Manchester City. And the current goal difference is 0. Whoa! Because both teams have scored 227 goals each. That's a very, very stunning record right there. And then we have an anticipation of a huge contest between Lisandro Martinez and Erling Haaland. I don't know who will come out on top, but it's all out there for us to see. And then I'm looking at goal records versus Manchester City for Manchester United forwards. Cristiano Ronaldo has scored 3 in 11. Marcus Rashford has scored 4 in 15. Anthony Martial has scored 3 in 14 games. Whoa. Also looking at Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola has a very good record versus Manchester United. But Manchester United has lately been having a good record versus Manchester City at Etihad Stadium. It's a very it's a match that is going to be hugely contested. But if I look at Pep Guardiola, he's beaten the last 3 Manchester United managers in the Manchester Derby. Yep. And then in another match, in the North London derby, Arsenal will be hosting Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, I'm looking at the top scoring lads in the London derby. Of course, Harry Kane is up there. He is leading the pack in the top scorers in the North London derby on 13 goals. And then the next one is Emmanuel Adebayo on 10 goals. Now, I'm also trying to look at Heung-min Son. They both scored a brace. I think him and Harry Kane both scored a brace in last season North London derby. So it's a match that will be highly contested, very, very much contested. As far as the derby is concerned, we are also fortunate to have like 2 derbies over the weekend. And then I'm looking at Son. Son has been directly involved in 6 goals in the last 5 games versus Arsenal. He has 4 goals and 2 assists in the last 6 games versus Arsenal. Whoa, he's a man to watch. I expect him to start. He's also a man on form because he recently shrugged off his struggles to the beginning of the season and scored wonderful stunners as they beat Leicester City by 6-2, and they won, and he scored a hat-trick in that match. Now, it's all for us out there to see. Let's catch up let's catch up next time on more updates pertaining to the Premier League. And that is all from me, your boy Den Vakoki, representing Gange za Sporty. Keep it locked. This is your home of sports, factual football analysis, and and updates. And see you next time. Adios.